Hey, I'm Dan. I'm a creative director at Square Enix Montreal. I'm going to show you Hitman Go. So Hitman Go is a different take on the classic Hitman games. It's a new entry in the franchise. It's basically the first mobile Hitman game that's out there. It's going to be a release. And as you can see right from the start, it's a different kind of point of view, different gameplay, different feel. So we decided to go with this almost kind of board game, top-down diorama scale model kind of feel. You can see you can drag around, you can look at all these little details that are in there. And to play the game, you actually just swipe Hitman like a board game pawn on these nodes. So this is the first level, it's super easy. I just learned how to move, so to speak. Keep going. Now I unlock the level sequentially, like this is the map where I see where I'm gonna go and the targets I gotta kill. Go to level 2, and I see that there's an enemy now, but this is a blue guard, so he's a stationary guy, he's not gonna move. And in this case, he's even facing the other way, so I can just kind of swipe on him, take him out. And much like as if I was playing chess, I just put the pieces next to the board when I take him out. So it's the kind of adaptation of that board game feel, like a mixture between that and Hitman. Still super easy. I just go to the exit point. These are really just the levels to kind of ease the player in, get them to know how the game works. And level 3 now kind of shows the turn-based nature of the game. Since it's a board game, almost a digital board game, it's turn-based, so if I were to move in front of that guy, he sees one spot ahead of him, so if I move in front of him, he takes me out like that, right? So, much like in other Hitman games, I'm not just going to run straight forward into my enemies, I'm actually going to circle around, I'm going to take them out while they're not looking at me, so we're trying to take all these kind of Hitman elements and we kind of abstract them into this framework, into this kind of board game framework. Still super easy, this is kind of the first few levels. What I'm going to do is, if this is dev build, I'm going to unlock some of the further levels so I can show you some of the mechanics that are going to kind of come in later. So by unlocking everything, for example, one thing that's in Hitman games is kind of distraction. So if there's an enemy in the area, sometimes I can't get past him. So you see this guy, he's blocking this path. But here I'm being taught that I can actually use distraction. So there's a little rock here, I can pick it up, and I can throw it to an adjacent node. So if I throw it here, it'll create a sound, and the guys affected by this radius, they will come and go and investigate. So this guy, he will go to the spot, and since it's a stationary guy, he will just stand there, and that's kind of my advantage. I could take him out, but I can also maneuver around him and finish the level. Still, this is level 5, so it's pretty basic. But it gets interesting because we can add all these kind of Hitman mechanics into the game, right? So the first thing I can show you is Hitman is really about the marks, the hits that you take out. We give them a bit more spotlight. You get like a nice camera shot on it. So you're taking out this guy. All targets are marked in red. The other thing you can see in this level is there's a new enemy type. So he's a Praetorian guard. He's not just standing, he's actually moving every time I move. So I kind of got to make sure that I time it right, because if I just move up here, you can see like next time he would take me out. So I gotta make sure that I just follow him by the time he moves up, so I get enough time, kind of get this window of opportunity, kind of look at it, take him out. And that's kind of the basic premise of the game. You can see here I killed my mark, but I could also do secondary objectives. I actually managed to do it in 14 or less turns, but you could also, like for example, sometimes you're told to kind of go and collect the briefcase, a secret briefcase. It's up here, so if I did a detour, I could go there and get it at the same time before I move out, before I exfiltrate. And these stamps, these Hitman insignia, it's the Hitman logo. I collect them. This is my total of stamps I have so far, and I use them to unlock more content. Like the second box, I would need 25 stamps to go and get it. Maybe we can jump into here, which one thing that's really cool is, like I just said, we can take the Hitman mechanics. For example, disguises is a big mechanic in Hitman games. So the way it works in Hitman Go is that all the enemies, they're like different types of enemies. They come with color codes. So the yellow guards, they move, the blue guards are stationary, then you have the green guards who are rotating. And much like in other Hitman games, you pick up disguises and you become invisible to the enemies that are like they think you kind of blend in, right? So the yellow guys, they don't bother me anymore as long as I have a yellow disguise. But if I wanted to be get past the blue guy, we need to blue this guy. So this is the kind of like stealth puzzle strategy mechanics that we put in one at a time, and we kind of make complex levels by combining them one with each other. And you can see like there's objectives for not killing anyone, like in Hitman games, Silent Assassin, you only take out your main targets, you move out. There's a ton of content, so we have these kind of level packs. Much like you would go to a board game store, you buy these boxes, you get different boxes with different content. Each of them is a location. You get 2 hits per location, and you get about 4 mechanics per box, like different enemy types, different tools. One thing I can show you actually earlier on, another key thing is the weapons in Hitman. So for example, on level 8, on this location here, there's the silver ballers, which is like the dual pistols Hitman has, a very iconic element of the game. So if I were to move here, those 2 guys, they would take me out because on their turn they would kill me, but because they're guns, I can kind of shoot them. I can shoot all the guys around, pressing A across, so I can use that to my advantage. There's another one, I need to make sure to line them up correctly so I can take them out on the right spot. As you can also see, like the scale model graphics is really cool. I can look around and get kind of rewarded with like these little bits of stories like this. It's a hotel, you see the multiple floors, you see stuff going on in the other levels. And maybe one last mechanic I can show you is the guard dog. So here on level 4 of this box is a new thing, new enemy type coming in, something you see in other stealth games, other Hitman games. So that the guard dog is actually, he's different than the other guys in the fact that he sees 2 nodes, 2 lines in front of him, and on top of that he will follow me around, right? He'll chase me, so if I keep moving, he'll just go wherever he sees me last. And one fun thing I can show you, another mechanic that's introduced earlier in the game are these secret passages. So they're basically hatches that combine 2 points that are not necessarily adjacent or not necessarily connected to each other. I can go in, I come out on the other side, as if you were like crawling through an air vent or something like that. And the upside of this is that the dogs stay lost in sight. They don't know where I went, and now I can come back on the other side and take him out at the same time. And can get the briefcase and finish the level. So level complete. There would have been a point, I would have gotten a stamp if I did it without killing the dogs, so I can replay it, I can do it without killing those guys, I can get another stamp, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to finish with one thing that's super cool. Like, so there's like 4 boxes with different locations. Hitman's much about a game about globetrotting. You go to different spots, you find different locations. And the 5th one is like a little bonus. It's actually a level that we rebuilt. We looked at all the past Hitman levels. We looked at ones we liked. We looked at ones that the fans liked, and we chose one for Blood Money, Curtains Down, which is a level taking place in an opera house. And we kind of reimagined it within Hitman Go. So for the fans who played it, they will remember all these locations. So you come into the main hall, you go backstage, you go to this kind of workshop, you work your way up to the top, rig like a chandelier, and you get to drop it on your target's head at the end of the level. You see the same targets, the same kind of setups, the same characters. So for the fans, that's a nice thing to see. I'm Dan, I'm Creative Director at Square Enix on Hitman Go, and that was the game.